Krista back with your weekly reading for the sign of Scorpio, Sun, Moon, and Rising. If you don't know your Moon and Rising sign, Scorpio, there is a link in the description box where you can find your whole birth chart. And that way, for additional messages for the week, you can always look at your Moon and Rising sign readings on top of your Sun sign reading today. So this is for Scorpio for the week of August 15th to August 22nd. I will be using the Wisdom of the Oracle Tarot for your main 5-card spread today, and then drawing additional message cards from each of the Medicine Card Tarot and the Healing with the Angels Tarot. So we'll be asking, what does your sign need to know for the week? And Scorpio, whatever is most prominent in your life this week, I'll encourage you to apply these messages to, and hopefully you find them helpful and healing. So what does Scorpio need to know? So we had a little pile there. Just looking for 2 more jumper cards. Whoops. Let me just fix these guys. They just all turned over in my hand here. All right, 1 more jumper card, and then we'll get a little bird's eye view of what's going on with all 5 cards here, energy-wise. Sweet. All right, Scorpio. So if I recall correctly, I feel like there are some similar cards, or at least similar energy, to what was going on for you last week. I do recall a change in the wind being in your spread. I hope I'm recalling that correctly. But yeah, I do remember that, because I remember a couple of weeks before that, we were looking at a lot of decision making or opportunities that were available to you. So this is you taking something, a change in the wind, putting ideas or plans into practice here. We're looking at feeling really supported. We're looking at definitive action this week. So you could very well take action this week like you did last week as well. I believe that was there as well. I do remember these 2 cards from your spread last week. So I do feel that you're taking definitive action around making changes in your life. And they do have to do with fundamental foundations, either in your work life, your family life, your personal spirituality, your travel life, your goals and plans for yourself. Whatever, again, it's general reading, so whatever's most prominent to you this week, there are issues around the foundations of that concern for you. Let's look at what card is in each position, and then I will hold them up to the camera for you. If you are drawn to anything in particular, whether it's color or design or an image, use your intuition and take from it anything positive that you can, Scorpio. In the central position, which represents you, is a change in the wind. Like I said, this is really just saying, without a lot of fanfare, without a lot of hoopla, like you are making changes. They could be small right now. It could be, like I said, in the decision-making stage, but nonetheless, you're looking at forming small changes in your life, and we all know what small changes turn into, don't we? They turn into massive overhauls if we can stay motivated and we can stay directed and focused. I do feel like you have a remarkable amount of focus this week, only because I see that there is something foundationally going on. So you're looking at the root of something, maybe even a radical change, if you will. In the energy that you're just leaving or bringing into the week is serendipity. This is really, it's a luck card. It's the card of luck, but we all know that luck is the result of hard work. It really is. I mean, ask anyone who is successful in the way that you define success, and they'll say, yeah, I had this and that available to me, but I worked really hard, and I really believe that's what is going on here. You're working really hard toward making these large-scale changes in your life because you're tired of what else was available to you, or you're over it. For whatever reason, you're able and willing to move forward here and to make these little changes. You might even be getting such a kick out of it. You know, you might even be getting such a thrill. This could be thrilling for you. And I hope it is, right? Because that's going to help keep momentum. And maybe it's because you're seeing the fruit of your labor, or the outcomes of these seemingly small but significant changes that you're making, and you're seeing them become fruitful, or you're feeling the result of them, and it's really positive, and lovely, and it makes you feel lucky, and it makes you feel like things are going the way you want them to, that things feel good, even while you're undergoing these changes. So what a beautiful and ideal, environment to make these changes in. In what is working for you is the soulmates card. This is, pure support. This is either one person or several people who are really on your side. You can consider them cheerleaders even. You can consider these people or this person someone who really has your back, who believes in you, even when you don't sometimes. I hope you know what I mean, but sometimes, we can be hard on ourselves, or we can talk ourselves out of something, and I really feel like you have someone, and maybe it's within you. If that's the case and you're your own best friend right now, that's fabulous too. But there is a generosity, there's a feeling of generosity and a sense of feeling cheered on and feeling supported right now. There's a lot of love, a lot of support, and a lot of goal setting and goal making, and someone's cheering you on. And in what you may not be aware of, the position you may not be aware of is the building blocks. And this is where I'm talking about some significant changes around your foundation, foundationally thinking or learning or going about in the world, or habits or concerns or beliefs, etc. Something foundational this week is really being manipulated. It's being switched up, but it's by your own hand, it's on your own time, and it's due through your own work. When I say manipulation, I just mean you're being particular about where things go, not that you're manipulating someone else or that you're being emotionally manipulative. I don't see that, unless that is a major concern in your life this week, in which case, you'll have to get to the bottom of that. But I see this as a prospect, as something that's maybe an activity or a concern or a belief, as opposed to, someone's feelings or, upsetting someone. So yeah, significant changes that you're putting into practice, you're really feeling excited by. And I love seeing the Yang card and your probable outcome. This is action. This is just literally putting everything here that I've just spoken about into action. So you're like, yeah, I want this foundational change. I'm ready for it. I'm willing. I know what I'm going to replace, what I'm removing now, or I'm making space for something new that wasn't there before. I feel a lot of support. I've worked hard for this. Let's do it. So you're not messing around, Scorpio. You're really excited. And it's either this is exciting you, or you're creating a lot of excitement around it, and it itself is building momentum. So a lot of excitement for you here. And something might even feel really juicy. Something might feel invigorating. If it is a new relationship, that could very well be what's going on as well. If it's a love affair, for example, this could feel like a little bit, I'm trying not to say the word soulmate, but it could feel very serendipitous. Like you do have soulmates and serendipity together here, and then building blocks, which is about things you've already built for yourself, changes in that regard, and then taking a leap here. So if it does specifically have to do with a love relationship, this could be about either generating a new love interest or taking a love interest to another level. I just want to put that out there just in case. I don't normally talk about love or romantic relationships very often, but this could very well be what's going on. So a change in the wind in your central position. As I said, this is an animal who's on the move a lot. They've carried a lot on their back, It could have felt like an albatross. It could have been great for the time that it was there. But something has made you stop. And while you're stopped, you're like, I don't want this albatross anymore. I don't want this concern. I don't want this weight on my shoulders anymore. And you're willing to do what it takes to release that. It's going to take facing something you don't necessarily want to face to do it, but you're not going to stay here long. Something is shifting so quickly here that this isn't a physical state, okay? You're not like a change in the wind and things are gloomy. That's not it. This is a mental, psychological, or even spiritual framework here where you're releasing something. And in the serendipity, like I said, this being in what's energy you're bringing into the week, I do think that you need to have this sense of, luck, or this sense of freedom, no matter which way I turn with this concern, or no matter how this works out, even if I don't have all the answers, even if I don't know what the next step is, that you're going to be able to handle it. Or it's just as exciting not knowing what's going to happen next, which is really kind of cool, frankly, Scorpio. Sometimes human beings can be accused of planning things to death as well. So I think there is a general excitement here around doing something, even if it's like, I don't know what's going to happen next, or I'm so invested in the moment, or being here now, or making these significant changes one by one, a little bit at a time right now, that I have utmost faith that no matter what occurs in the future, it's going to be positive, it's going to be wonderful. And I really feel like that's what's going on here. I think that if you are making changes or significant leaps of faith here, I think it does have to do with feeling so incredibly supported. And if this is internal, if you are your own best friend right now, then fantastic. I mean, you don't need external validation for any phase of your life. But if you have support and you have someone sort of cheerleading you on from a distance, or who's close to you, or like I mentioned, if it's something that's going on in your own mind, keep this up, let this happen. This is actually really important to keeping your soul light, to keep feeling free, to feel as though you can do anything. And that includes mistakes, it includes tripping, it includes not having all the answers, right? It's important to even support yourself through that as well. And it does have to do with a great deal with having faith. You've accomplished something before, you've succeeded with something before, and you didn't know what the next step was, but everything worked out fantastic. Or if it didn't, you figured it out and you solved a problem. Rely on that. Rely on those experiences at this time. I don't feel like you're going to be even having to reach for that support. Like I said, I think that it's going to be so forthcoming, you're not going to have to ask for it or reach for it. But if on any level you feel like you have to, just remember that you've gotten through something difficult before. You can do this. And the building blocks in what you may not know is available to you. This is something that's happening on a fundamental or a foundational level. You can see this is you can treat this like a Tetris card as well. Like, it's what is dropping down. Where do you want things to land? What do you want this to look like when you're laying these building blocks? And as I mentioned at the very beginning, because it's a general reading, this could have to do with your emotional state. It could have to do with an actual building, that you're architecturally designing and you want to know exactly where everything is. But you could be architecturally designing the rest of your life, right? So no matter how this is being applied this week for you, consider it to be foundational, and you can build, your life on it, right? The life that you want is what you can make on these building blocks. And with the yang, this is pure energy. This is all about taking action, and kind of not whimsical. I wouldn't say any of this is whimsical. I would say it's all really well thought out. You've been doing a lot of hard work here. Like I said, even from the outside looking in, it could look like luck. Or if for whatever reason you're not considering all the hard work that you've done to be important to this process, and you feel lucky, it's the same thing. You have done the hard work. Perhaps you're just not aware of what's been done because it was easy for you, or or it was so long ago, but an action will be taken here, and I think it'll be accumulative at this point as well. This isn't, like I said, this isn't the first change in the wind that I've seen for you in these past few weeks. So I think this is going to be another layer of success for you, another layer of figuring something out or building that new foundation that you want for you. The dolphin is one of the additional cards here, and its keyword is manna. This is really all about having everything you've ever wanted. I think manna is a biblical term, if I'm not mistaken, but essentially it just means, milk and honey. It means having everything you've ever wanted, pure fulfillment. And another theme here, of course, is the water, going deep. Water is your element, as you know, but this isn't, a pond or a lake. It's certainly not a puddle. This is the ocean. Like, something is really deep going on here, something that is deep and unique to you. There's also an issue, or at least a statement here, about being playful. So try to stay playful when you're accomplishing all these things. Keep a sense of humor, but while you're going deep, right? It feels even on some level as though they are inconsistent with one another, like going deep and then being playful, but they're not. I think you're riding both of these waves here. You're able to go deep and be deeply intellectual, deeply spiritual, deeply emotional, deeply successful, deeply intelligent, whatever that is going on for you this week. But you're able to inject a little bit of playfulness into it, a little bit of lightheartedness into it, maybe even stopping to smell the roses, so to speak, during, all of this work and all of this effort. So I really feel like you're keeping a beautiful sense of balance here. And manna, that there is a sense of having everything you need, everything is available to you, and it's gonna feel really sweet. There is a real sweetness to the week for you, Scorpio. As long as you're not opposed, say, to the change in the wind. I think if there is any issues around avoiding changes, or avoiding looking at fundamental or foundational concerns or changes you need to make in your life, I think you could feel, drowned out or overwhelmed, or that you're going to feel bad if you want to be playful, or if there's a chance to be playful, you'll kibosh it because, it's more important. You don't have time for that. So if for any reason you're kiboshing this by overlooking it and thinking it's not important, I think it is the time in your life to make these little but significant changes, because they are building on each other. And just remember to stay light and enjoy it. Stay in the moment. Enjoy. I've got two. I'm going to take them. We have the guardian angel and divine guidance. My dear Scorpio, I don't think you are in any way, and I truly mean this, I don't think you're surprised at all to see this. I really don't. Even if you don't consider yourself a spiritual person, which that's fine. I know you know the difference between there is a God, and you don't have to be spiritual to know that or to believe that. It's an intelligence. That's what I see going on here. You are in tune with something here, or you are being hearkened to become aware, or these divine agencies are making themselves available to you this week, or you're able and willing to align yourself with them. However that's playing out for you this week, these are available to you and they are looking out for you. And yes, this is the right time for all this to be going on. We have the guardian angel. If there's anything going on this week that feels difficult, for example, in the change in the wind, or in feeling like these little but significant changes are difficult, or there could be some upset, or leaving something behind, or something doesn't work out exactly the way you want it to, really just ask for a little bit of assistance this week. And like I mentioned earlier on here, just know in your heart that you can get through this, that you have what it takes. Be gentle with yourself, and remember prosperity, right? Remember the sense of prosperity and lightheartedness, and of course, divine guidance. This is just a never can go wrong card. This is just generally speaking to a sense of overarching wellness. You feel really supported here, not only on earth, but in your heart. I really feel like in your heart you feel supported. And if you don't for whatever reason, please, do a little test, reach out a little bit, ask for help, say a prayer. If you have a guardian angel that you know of to pray to, if you have your own favorite archangel, whatever appeals to you, reach out, ask for help this week. Don't go it alone if you're feeling stressed out, but certainly believe that the universe here and the cosmic universe and certainly your own ambitions are being supported. So I see that you have everything you need to take the next step here. Keep going in this direction. I see a lot of excitement and a lot of feeling good, a lot of really being fun and enjoying life. So congratulations, Scorpio. This is actually really cool to see for you. And if you have a second in the comments, let me know how this works out for you. I'm genuinely curious. So if you're not subscribed to my channel, you can do that now, and that way you can look at your videos every week. I upload videos for your sign every single week. So I appreciate you watching today. Thank you so much. I will see you next time. Bye for now.